I'm assuming you mean that you have your list of stocks to trade like I have on the blog every day, and then you're going to put them into your software, and then basically how do you manage a big list of stocks? Is that what you're asking there?
Yep. So without just manually, I've got, I think, about 40 stocks in there. I have my 14 core stocks in a window and then about 30
Okay.
without just every night entering another 10 or another 5. What's the best way to put them all?
Well, first I update the list every day.
Okay.
So I would say that like you have your core 14. So essentially I would have three lists. I would have my core 14 in your case, and then I would have two other lists. One would be a list of longs, and then one would be a list of shorts.
Okay.
So let's just say, for argument's sake, you're scanning 40 stocks, but from those 40 stocks, you probably have maybe, let's use the exact scenario now where the market's making close to all-time highs. You probably have out of 40 stock, let's say you scan 40. You find longs, you find shorts. There's probably a dozen longs and maybe like 5 shorts. So you wouldn't necessarily have all 40 in the list. So it's 40 you're going to look at. Then you break it down to the longs. Then you break it down to the shorts, and then those stocks go into two separate lists. So you have your house list. You look at it all day, every day. Then you have your longs and you have your shorts. Now from there, the last thing you need to do is after the market opens, you have to make sure that you sort it by change from the open and change from the close.
Okay.
So let's say, for argument's sake, and it's actually a very common question. People ask me all the time, how do you watch a giant list like that? Well, first you want to see if the market has a bias for the day. So let's just say, for argument's sake, the market's a long. So if the market's a long, the better trades are with the order flow that day. So you're immediately eliminating your short sale list, at least in the first 90 minutes, because if the market's long, the better, and trading. Maybe not so much like it did today where there was a big gap, but let's just say even though there was a gap, it wasn't long. So if there's a buy side bias or sell side bias, and we'll just use buy, keep it simple. I'm not even looking at my shorts. I'm just looking at stocks that I want to be long. Okay. So that immediately cuts out any stocks that are in the short list. Now that doesn't mean you can't go back where maybe the market flattens out like it did today, and you see some stocks that are in your short list, and you see they're actually trending down. So the market gapped up, went sideways, but those weak stocks, let's say 3 out of 5 of them are going down. You can put the shorts on at that point, but you definitely want to give yourself a chance in the first 90 minutes of the day to take advantage of. If the market has a bias, get in there with the stocks that are trading with the market. Okay. Then you're actually breaking it down even a little further. Even on your long list, again, let's make it a big list. Let's say there's 20 stocks in the long list. You're still only going to focus on the stocks that are positive from the previous close and positive on the open. So the fact that they're in your list in the first place, they're longs. So you did all the game planning, you did your scanning. Okay, these are my longs. Now you want today to confirm why they're in the list in the first place. So when the market opens, you're going to click your stock watch you usually can't do 2 columns at once. So what you'll normally do is let's say you click, the way I normally do it is I click change from the open. So okay. I want to know which stocks are positive from the open today, and then which of those stocks are also positive from the previous close. So you probably have, let's just use 20 as a standard number. If you have 20 stocks total in your long list, more often than not, there's probably only 7 stocks that meet that criteria. Okay. Meaning after the market opens, that are positive from the open and positive from the close. So what ends up happening is you could have 50 stocks in the list. I'm only concentrating on the two that on the stocks that have both of that criteria. So that could literally eliminate, actually, I should say, almost always eliminate 70% of the stocks, unless the market is just giving us a gift that day where everything's really obvious. More often than not, again, I'll just use round numbers. Let's say there's 20 stocks total, 10 longs, 10 shorts. Probably half of those trigger where everything matches. So you go long, higher time frame with the scans, and you run your 2 scans, momentum, and then order flow. Pop them into your long and your short list, but then you want intraday to confirm what you see on the higher time frames. It's a really easy way to manage a big list of stocks because you're not really looking at every one of them. You're only looking at ones that meet that last 2 criteria.